Alright, so finally, I'm going to talk about Monster Hunter World. I'm going to lay it all on the table about how I really feel about this game and why I did not buy it, why I'm not going to buy it, and the bias between people with not just Monster Hunter World, but with games versus Nintendo exclusives versus other platforms not on Nintendo. There's a whole bias with it. Case in point, so we got Metacritic, right? Monster Hunter World got 91 on Metacritic. Fantastic. It's great for Capcom. Great for fans of Monster Hunter World. Nothing wrong with that. Compare that to Breath of the Wild at a Metacritic of 97. Now, before you even go any further, I'm pretty sure people already just stopped the video and went and hit that dislike button. But if you haven't, you're still listening, let me explain. I'm not saying Breath of the Wild is better because it has a higher Metacritic. I'm here to tell you that Metacritic doesn't fucking matter. Excuse my French, but it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter with Zelda. It didn't matter with Mario Odyssey. It didn't matter with Persona 5. It didn't matter with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And guess what? It doesn't matter with Monster Hunter World. The reason Zelda won a lot of Game of the Year awards, it won the most Game of the Year awards out of any game in 2017, was because of its pedigree for what it did, not just for gaming for the whole year of 2017, but what it did as a system launch title for the Switch, what it pioneered as far as evolving open world games, and just how beautifully crafted the game was. It wasn't just because, oh, it's 97 on Metacritic. That wasn't it. There's a lot of games that have high scores that really, in all honesty, aren't justified. There's also a lot of games with low scores that also aren't justified. And I'm not the only one who can speak to that. The problem with this is, with the bias is, you had all throughout 2017, you had the fake Nintendo fans, you had the Sony and Microsoft and PC fanboys, you had the Switch haters, or you had those people who, act like they want a Switch, or they have a Switch, but they still talk shit about it. You had those people constantly claiming, oh, well, Nintendo's, paying off reviews for Breath of the Wild. Oh, they're paying off reviews for Mario Odyssey. So the Metacritic score doesn't matter because it's paid for. Okay, well, if there's no evidence for that, but if you honestly believe that, can't the same be said for Monster Hunter World? Didn't Capcom or Sony or Microsoft pay for the reviews? Oh, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. Monster Hunter World is fantastic. It's justified. Now it's a Game of the Year contender for 2018. Look, it's fine. It's fine if you like Monster Hunter World. There's nothing wrong with the game personally. And I'm not saying it's not a Game of the Year contender. If you really believe it is, go at it. Support your game. Just like I supported Breath of the Wild last year. Do it. That's awesome. It's great that we're allowed to have different tastes as gamers and like different things. I'm glad that there's a multitude of genres and games and platforms and options out there for all of us gamers of every different breed. That is fantastic. The problem is, you can't turn around and say one company is inflating reviews or paying for reviews, but another company is not. It doesn't work that way, especially when there's no evidence either way. There's just no evidence either way. And for years, people have said Nintendo's reviews are inflated. But let's be honest. Ever since the Super Nintendo days, Nintendo has always had a bad stigma in the gaming industry. It's always been looked at as the redheaded stepchild. Even back in the days of Super Nintendo, because even though Super Nintendo still won that generation, people still looked at the Genesis as the big boys console. The Genesis was where the cool kids play, and you're a little kiddie if you played in Super Nintendo. Same thing with the N64. PS1 was where people played. Same thing with the GameCube. PS2 and Xbox were where people played. Same thing with the Wii. Again, the Wii won that generation, but again, it was where the 360 and the PS3, that's where the cool people played. Last generation, again, the Wii U was looked at as another, underpowered kiddie machine. which it was underpowered compared to PS4 and Xbox One, yes, but as far as kitty, that's debatable. And now the same thing is happening with the Switch. People give Nintendo, they don't give Nintendo a chance, just like they see the Nintendo Labo and they think, oh, well, Nintendo's pulling out, there's no more hardcore games, it's all going to be cardboard for 2018, even though you have Bayonetta, Dragon Quest Builders, Kirby, Yoshi, Fire Emblem, you have so many games coming out, Bit Trip Runner 3, just so many games, Scribblenauts. There's so many games of every different breed, every different type, every different genre. Ys 8. Ys 8's coming to the Switch. A lot of hardcore Japanese RPG fans, would want that game. So the fact of the matter is, people look at stuff like that and go, oh, well, Nintendo's all, they do one thing different, and suddenly it's, oh, now it's kitty from here on. It's the Wii all over again. And that's what I mean. Nintendo has that image. So people think if a Nintendo game gets a good Metacritic score or good reviews, suddenly it's inflated, suddenly it's paid for, because Nintendo can't be on top. Nintendo can't be on top. Only the big boys can be on top. And Nintendo's always going to be the little kitty boy. It's not going to be the big boy to people. And that's bullshit. Again, excuse my French, but it's just, again, that shouldn't matter what company does what. What should matter is the game good? Does it play well? Is it fun? Whether it has cartoony graphics or realistic graphics, whether it's, all about fun level design, fun gameplay quirks, or is it about cinematics? Whatever it's about, is the game fun? Well, then it's good. So we shouldn't go based on, oh, well, look at this game. This game got 95 on Metacritic. Oh, wait, it's by Nintendo? Oh, that's inflated. Oh, look, Sony put out this game that's got a 93. Oh, yeah, that's great. It's Game of the Year now. And that's just such a biased, hypocritical mentality. You know what I mean? So the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter. Metacritic in general does not fucking matter. All it is a compilation of all the other reviews. And people don't even take the actual reviews into account. They don't take what's actually being said in the reviews. All they do is they skip ahead to the score and they see, oh, this game got this and this game got that. Just like a Nintendo game could have so many perfect scores, but once it gets one average score, suddenly that means it's a failure. Case in point, Breath of the Wild, once again, it has so many perfect scores or near perfect scores. And then there was the Jimquisition review, and suddenly everyone was like, that's the review we go by. So the hundreds of other favorable reviews, universal acclaim, suddenly doesn't matter, but that one bad review matters. Oh, but if a Sony game gets 5 bad reviews, but it gets a bunch of other good reviews, suddenly those 5 bad reviews are haters. You know what I mean? That's the mentality that people have, and that's terrible. So the fact of the matter is, with Monster Hunter World, so suddenly, okay, so it has a 91 on Metacritic, and suddenly that's more deserving than Zelda's 97? That doesn't make any sense. Especially when, well, let's be honest, Zelda deserved it. Zelda, again, it helped launch the Switch. It had a more than 100% attach rate when the Switch came out. It was a pioneer in gaming for the year 2017, and it pioneered, like I said, it revolutionized the open world genre. With the physics engine, the amount of freedom it gives you, the atmosphere, everything about it, how alive the world is. No other open world game is quite like it. Even people who have been playing Elder Scrolls for years and the Witcher games for years, even they've seen Breath of the Wild and they were like, yes, this is the next step, Monster Hunter World, all it did was take things out that were in the previous Monster Hunter games, and it streamlined the experience, and it pretty much slapped an open world. Okay, so there's no more zones, but everything else, like, they didn't use the open world as a means to, shake up the formula. They just use it as a means of, oh, here's Monster Hunter with an open world. Because it seems like every game nowadays has to have an open world, I'm glad Mario Odyssey was not open world. Mario Odyssey came close. The levels are very open-ended, but it came just close enough to where if Mario Odyssey was open world, it would not have been as good as it was. Because Mario does not need to be fucking open world. It was perfectly fine. The levels were open just enough to give you enough freedom while still being actual individual levels, still giving you that, they evolved the Mario, 64 formula enough without going overboard with nowadays trend of let's slap an open world in this game. You know what I mean? So Monster Hunter World, the problem with that is, yeah, they basically slapped an open world on it and said, here's Monster Hunter with an open world, and they made it appease the Western fan base, which the Western fan base has never cared about Monster Hunter. A lot of people are buying Monster Hunter, and it's gotten great sales and great reviews, and that's the only reason for that is because the Western audience here is attached to it. There's people who have never played Monster Hunter before, and they're attached to this game. And hey, if that's you, good on you. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you've got you got your own Monster Hunter game to play. But for us fans of Monster Hunter who have been playing for years, even people who have been playing since it has nothing to do with it being on Nintendo or Sony. It has to do with, have you been there since Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii? Have you been there since Monster Hunter Portable on the PSP? Have you been there since the PS2 days? Have you been there since the 3DS days? It doesn't matter. All that matters is all those games, they added to the formula, but they kept the formula the same. They kept the gameplay the same. Monster Hunter World it's like one step forward, two steps back, and a lot of longtime fans have seen that. The issue with the game is it appeals to newcomers and to Western audiences while alienating the original fan base for Monster Hunter. And that's just facts. That's just a lot of people have expressed, a lot of longtime Monster Hunter fans have expressed their disappointment in some of the changes in World, myself included. What they should have done is Monster Hunter World, okay, it's not coming to Switch at this time. Fine. I personally don't even want it on Switch. I could care less. What I want is Double Cross. So see, I'm not port begging. A lot of people think Nintendo fans are port begging. I'm not. Double Cross is already on the Switch. The problem is it's not localized here in America or in Europe, anywhere outside Japan. Even though the first game, Generations, is already in English on the 3DS. All they need to do is take that translation and add to it with the new content that's in Double Cross and bring it over. It wouldn't be that hard. So, if they did that, they kept Monster Hunter World on, the Xbox and the PS4 for the Western audience and for the more Western gamers, the open world gamers, but if they still gave us the option here in America and in Europe to get Double Cross on the Switch, or even hell, even bring over the portable Double Cross, the one on 3DS. If they were to bring that over, everyone would be happy. The longtime Monster Hunter fans that like the old formula would be able to play it. They would still have it portably, because a lot of people also wanted it portably. You can't fully do that with the PS4. Yeah, I know, Vita Remote Play, yeah, the little glitchy network, blah, 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 yeah, that's nothing compared to the 3DS and the Switch. Sorry, it's true. And there's people can make videos about the Remote Play, but it's nothing compared. It just isn't. I have a Vita, I have a PS4 and a PS3. I've done Remote Play numerous times. It's convenient, but it's not as convenient as it can be. Anyways, if they had Monster Hunter World out for one set of fans, and they gave us the option in English-speaking territories for Double Cross for the other set of fans, everyone would be happy. Capcom would have sales they'd have double their sales, because Double Cross would also sell a lot. All the people who've been playing since the 3DS would be jumping on that. And it would just be better suited for everyone. Again, I'm not mad that Monster Hunter World exists. I'm mad over the fact that Capcom won't give everyone an option. We can't get Double Cross. I'm not even all that mad over it. I'm just disappointed because I enjoyed Monster Hunter, the past couple titles. I would like to see the older style continue and not just go open world for the sake of being open world. So, with that being said, that's why I don't feel like the Metacritic is really deserved. But again, the game isn't appealing to me. It's appealing to a Western audience and an open world gaming audience. So of course I'm gonna say that, and it's all my opinion. It's not fact. Is the Metacritic score deserving to fans of Western open world games? Absolutely. And I'm glad they have their game to enjoy. That's awesome. It's glad that, I mean, it's awesome when you have a game that you love that's getting such recognition. You know, like I love that Zelda got a lot of recognition. But at the end of the day, if Zelda had a 97, if it kept the 97 or if it went down to a 50, it wouldn't matter to me, because with my you know, nearly 300 hours that I've logged into Zelda over this past, you know, year, I've had fun with it. And a number on a website wouldn't decrease my fun, you know. Just like Monster Hunter World being at 91 doesn't suddenly make it to me, you know, a must-have title. I'm still not interested in the game. So I'm not going to go based on Metacritic. And I feel like a lot of other people need to do the same. Metacritic does not matter. What matters is, does this game appeal to you? Is it fun to you? Do you enjoy playing it? Then play the damn game. And stop bitching. Stop trying to be hypocritical. Stop trying to just rub your, you know, gloating in other people's faces. Because that doesn't matter. What matters is having fun with the game. With all of our games. Whether it's Monster Hunter, Zelda, or anything else in between. Because it's like I always say, haters gonna hate, but gamers gonna game.